welcome to Mad News, a student-led news programme by Belfast Film and Television School. My name is Stephen.
And I'm Jules. On today's programme, we'll take a look at a new app for students and staff at the college.
We'll take a peek at the new football partnership.
And the rise of body art, the enduring appeal of tattoos. But first,
big news this week here at the Belfast Met Film and Television School. No fewer than 5 of our students have been shortlisted for 2022 Royal Television Society Student Awards in Northern Ireland. 2 of them who are now with us in the studio, Shannon Hamill and Conor O'Mehanan, who are both now studying for honours at university, and we'll be hearing from them in a moment.
But first, let's see their films that have been shortlisted. Shannon produced a creative-style documentary. It's called A Pandemic Poem. But before that, here's Conal's film called FGB, all about a street artist who is colourblind.
I am FGB. I'm a street artist from Derry, originally living in Belfast for like 14 years now, and generally I draw on the streets. I actually started in Derry. I used to go about and put up tiny stickers in Derry, and then I moved to Belfast. I was out with my mate in the pub one night, and he turned around and he goes, "All my work's moving me to Belfast. I'm going to live up there." And I was like, "Cool, I'll come along." At the time, artists that I liked had names like Flying Fortress and the London Police and stuff like that. So when I was coming up with a name, I used to draw a character called Francois, the guy with the horns and the swirly eyes, and I'd done that instead of a tag. So he was called Francois. And he was painted down at the end of Albert Bridge, and it ran there for ages. And one day I was walking to work and I had to walk past that wall, and I saw the council. And I saw them scraping off the posters and stuff, and I was like, "Oh no, I hope they don't go to the other side, remove Francois." I walked around there, they were power hosing it off the wall, got on the phone, got in touch with Katrina, and I was like, "Francois got buffed." And then spent the rest of the day going, that's a cool name, it's a class name. And then 15 years later going, that's a wild long name. People like early 2000s, like Flying Fortress, I'm still a massive fan of his. The London Police, their style, because they worked in black and white initially. And the same with Mike Giant. Mike Giant, they just worked in black and white, and because of the colour blindness, I was like, yes, that's a colour scheme I can rock with. Primary colours were just the easiest to go to, so like yellows, blues, reds, and then from that, it's just like pinks and stuff like that. It's just really easy to see, really easy to work with. That just influenced the whole colour scheme, and that I don't like bright colours. I don't think it's a massive hurdle. It's like the thing with painting, I suppose the thing with anything is if you make a mistake, you can always correct it. Yeah. Especially with spray paint, because if you lift the wrong colour and you spray and you go, "Oh, balls," you lift the right colour and you paint over it and it's gone. So it wasn't a massive hurdle. It's more something that can be worked around, and finding a workaround for it was the best. Like when paint companies started releasing like colour sheets, you could sit down and like look and go, "All right, I need that colour and that colour." And actually, and when I started, I used to write the colours down, and I've got like sheets of like skin tone, Gema brown, teeth, matte white, and I would have that with me. And then when I was painting, I'd just be like, "Right, is that the skin tone?" Yeah. I've been putting stickers and paste ups and painting a bit in Belfast for like 10 years, and that was my first invite to hit the north in 2017. It's got the Together piece beside it by SoFly, and then ADW's Keeper Lit Heart. And yeah, it was just such a nice spot to paint, and a really big spot for my first wall, like legal wall in Belfast, and wasn't shipping myself at all or anything. And at the time I wasn't using like grids or anything, so like I freehanded the whole thing, and yeah, it was great. Well, normally, like in landscape painting or anything like that, you'll have your idea or whatever, and you possibly do a small version and do a grid over it, and then just create a larger version of that grid. And then each square corresponds with a square on your, where with the doodle grid, it's the same idea, only you're using technology.
little something to rely on. Need a little place to call home. Expert genius cut themselves in two. Dr. Marvelo coming after you. Cocky, honest, rare, and everything is clear and dumb. Bitch told me just because. Lyrical blaze from the tongue. Take another hit. I wish it didn't take this long. Fly my brain into ordinary places. 10 years I'm not living on a yacht. Dr. Marvelo, how it feels to be free. How it feels to be true. How it feels to be free. How it feels to be blue.
The world was stuck in its rules and ways, routines never changing, only the days. Running around, we were as busy as bees, never stopping, we did as we pleased. From day to night, life passed through, but we didn't appreciate the life that we knew. One day the world stopped in its tracks, turning down a path we would never be back. Only a few weeks, they said, it'll die, be gone, and put to bed. But it went on, our lives were changing, and we had to fight to carry on. Masks and gloves were what we had to do. Stay apart, 2 meters, NHS, we love you. Birthdays with no parties, and schooling at home, dreaming of days when we will again roam. Zoom meetings and quizzes for a while kept us going, but we sat at home, alone, but still hoping. What has this taught us? Nothing, you might say, but for me, it's to love and enjoy every day. Hold people close, because time is not given. Never walk away until all is forgiven. I know I will be asked in times to come, how did you feel in the pandemic of 2020 and 2021? I will tell them that I was full of fear, worrying and sick about how I'd wasted a year. The pandemic may be gone now, but I will never forget how I learned to love life and never regret. You may not remember this poem next week, next month, or next September, but keep this one line close, as it will always be true. If someone says they love you, tell them you love them too.
Two of the shortlisted films in the factual category for this year's RTS Student Awards, and the two students who made each of those films, are with us now in the studio. They are Shannon Hamill and Conal O'Mahony. Shannon and Conal, welcome very much to the programme. Very appreciated to have you on here. How weird does it feel odd being a guest on this show now you would have been here last year presented as students?
I don't know. I don't think it feels odd. Like, it's just sort of. It's good to be back. We had a good time here. Well, I had a good time here.
No, I had a good time. It's just different. Like, coming in today, it still felt the same way as we did when we were coming in as students, but sitting here and not being able to help what's going on's the weird bit.
I think I had trouble with not taking over in general anyway. So yeah, coming back and just taking a back seat is a wee bit hard. But yeah, it's good to be back.
And what have you guys been doing since you graduated last year then?
We're both at University of Ulster, or Ulster University, doing the same course. We're doing a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism. So yeah, we've been doing that, but it's not the same as here. It's not as practical. It's a lot of sort of theory stuff that is a bit more in depth than what we've done here, but here was sort of a lot more hands-on and it was really good fun.
Yeah, the NI Student Awards is our next Thursday night, 31st in the Black Box. What sort of competition are you up against?
I mean, we're up against each
Each other.
other, which is strange, and somebody else called Tom that we done the course with. So being up against each other, it's nice in a way because we kind of know that no matter if I were to win, you were to win, Tom were to win, we're going to be happy either way because we know the work that's went in. But as far as the other people,
We haven't really seen
we
any
haven't
of the
seen
other
them yet,
work,
so it'll be exciting to hopefully see them on the night and see what other people have produced as well as us.
Shannon, can you tell me about your film A Pandemic Poem?
So it's a strange one because I am sports journalism through and through. I have grown up with ice hockey. I film ice hockey. I'm going to ice hockey after this. Like, ice hockey is clearly the only thing that matters in my life. And to do this course, like, I kind of got by a lot of the time by putting ice hockey forward. So I wanted to challenge myself and do something different. And at that point, we were in the deep midst of the first lockdown, so like nobody was leaving their house, there was nothing going on, and for me it was trying to look for a positive in it and finding that people were learning a lot about themselves and a lot about the world, and that you have to break away from these routines that you get yourself into, and it was just trying to tell that through a video was the idea behind it.
Conal, yours is very different. Where did you find the street artist?
Yeah, I found him on the street. No, actually, I bumped into him when I was shopping for Christmas stuff, and I'd happened to go into this shop on the Newtonards Road called Vault Pop, and seen some of the work of an artist who I'd been following on Instagram before, who I knew that my girlfriend liked, and I heard him speak, and then I was like, I know that accent, and then afterwards I left and messaged him and was like, are you from Derry? And he was like, aye. I was like, right, okay. So I'm from Derry too, and we're both living in East Belfast, so I sort of built up a bit of rapport with him through that. And then as Linda was asking us what to make for like this micro documentary, she mentioned street art. I was like, I know exactly who I'm going to message to make this piece. So I messaged Ray or FGB and was like, are you interested in me just sort of following you about and seeing how you do your piece and how you do your work? And he was really happy to take part in the piece with me. And then as I was interviewing him, it turned out that he was colourblind as well, which was a really interesting aspect to add into the documentary too, because his work is so colourful, and I was just sort of trying to find out how he does his work, you know. So it was really interesting thing to make as well as watch, you know.
If there's any sort of advice you would give to maybe future students who may be watching this programme, say down the line, what would it be? Because I mean, you know, you've done it the past course, and what kind of advice would you give to them if they're watching us?
My best piece of advice that Linda gave me one of the first weeks I was here is take every opportunity you can. Even if you think it's not for you, take it, run with it, go with it, and you'll find out later on that it maybe wasn't for you, but you'll still have gained experience from it. Like, little things come up all the time, and it's like, here, we need somebody for 2 hours, go and do it. If they need somebody for 2 weeks, go and do it. Like, go and get involved in as many things as you can, because the experience far outweighs the qualification. Like, you could have as many qualifications as you want, but if you don't have the experience, you're not going to get where you want to be.
So guys, we see all these awards here. How would it feel in the future to see your names inscribed on some of these for future Met Newses?
Yeah, it would be really good to have any of our names, any of our classes' names, to sort of tell the legacy of our mad class. Obviously, it would be a privilege to win. But even just being shortlisted was good, you know. It's just the fact that people are noticing any of our work and just even watching it. It's happy days. That was what it was made for, was just for people to see, you know, and just for people to experience like a wee moment in our life, you know, and see life through the lens of our eyes.
And we didn't even know we were being
Aye.
put in for it. Like, Linda texted us the other day and was like, congratulations, you've been shortlisted. And we were like, what for? And then we looked and we were like, oh my goodness, like, this was just a piece of college work to us. Like, this, we didn't think it would ever go any further. So to even be shortlisted for something like an RTS Awards, like, amazing, when you just think your piece of work's just a piece of work.
Shannon and Colin, thank you very much for coming in
Yes,
today and
thank
giving
you,
us good
guys.
advice. We wish you both very much success, in the events coming up. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And you can see all the college shortlisted films on the Belfast Met Film and Television School Facebook page in the video section. But right now, let's look at one of the other films shortlisted from one of the last year's journalism students, Tom Greer. This is called A Grandparent's Story.
So the first question is, what is your name? When and where were you born?
Margaret Greer.
Yeah.
What's the next question? My name is Margaret Greer. I was born the 12th of March 1949 in my grandmother's house, 32 Keswick Street. And I was born in the front room. And it was also my mother's birthday. So she always said she got me for her birthday.
My name is Sir Victor Greer. I was knighted on 8th of May 1943, Lockview Street, number 1. I genuinely can't remember.
Sorry.
I have dementia.
Where and when did you first meet Granda?
I was 15 when I met you.
Oh dear me, I was a child snatcher.
Well, I used to go walks and we used to hear them playing, practicing up in the band hut. And you would have maybe stood about just listening to the music. I don't know who it was, came down and said, "You want to come up?" Them were invited to go up every time you practiced.
One of my screaming fans.
Yeah.
Screaming to stop. What do you think of my singing?
Well, I liked Roy Orbison too. I always loved Elvis. Like, you didn't really do your Elvis, you didn't?
Couldn't. Weren't good enough.
But you done Roy Orbison. I used to like Roy Orbison.
Did you have a first date?
I was doing a lot of homework, TV now. I invited you to go with me, didn't I? Somebody's house or something.
That was
I'm going over here to look at this TV. You coming with me?
I think that was the first. So I was more going out runs in the car.
How did Granda first propose?
I can't actually remember.
You definitely didn't get down one knee or anything.
No, sore knees.
No. I just can't. I think it was just because.
I said, I fancy you, will you marry me?
It's all right.
I think so. Remember?
Well, you had to go and ask. He had to go and ask my dad. My dad's.
Your dad hit me
permission.
and I asked you.
Is that what you said?
So we got boxing gloves, just to protect myself.
When and where did you get married?
We got married in Ballysun Church on the 23rd of March 1968 at 12:30, I think it was. And there was about 50 at it. And then after we had our dinner, Granda sang 3 songs. Things,
Think about things,
Like a walk in the park.
things.
in dreams. And she wears my ring.
What happened to release me? No.
No.
I was going to release me, let me go.
What was your first dance like and what was the music?
There was no first on it.
He didn't dance or he didn't get
I
up.
think he took me around, just trolled me around for a couple of seconds. I couldn't dance. I had no clue that the left foot and right foot was forward.
53 years he's been talking about going to learn ballroom dancing. Remember you said you
My
would,
legs are away with it.
and now his legs are away with it.
Dancing all forward.
I'm glad we were born kind of in the generation we were born, because I think before the Troubles we had a carefree life. You know, it mightn't have been, you hadn't all these technologies, things and all like that, but we all made our own fun and we had good fun, and we had friends that kind of we stayed friends.
Definitely the 60s was probably the best time in our lifetime. So if I had any choice, I would probably go back to maybe not the early 60s, but somebody from Mid-60s. That didn't go right, you know.
Sorry, Cian.
That'll be all right in the night. It's a lot of piffle. And I don't remember a thing. You think I'm joking?
So, made up.
Yes.
That was Tom Greer's film, one of the 4 shortlisted for this year's Royal Television Society Student Awards, and we'll find out who the winners are at the ceremony, which is next week in Belfast. Good luck to all of our shortlisted students.
We have an interesting story next, captured by our reporter Travis Maxwell, on the life of a soldier during the Troubles.
This was a bit before our time, but of course it's an important part of both British and Irish history.
We first landed by chopper in Lisnaskea police station, and on our first patrol we went out and you looked up on the wall directly in front of the police station and it said, "Welcome to Royal Irish, rest in peace."
Was your life ever in danger?
Every day, because you didn't know if something would happen that day and you didn't fear it. While in a checkpoint at Annick a car bomb was drove into the checkpoint and the detonator just went off. The explosive device didn't, and if it had, it would have been the biggest bomb detonated in Northern Ireland at that time. Killyvilly on the border in Fermanagh, the IRA set up 2 M60s across the border and shot into the checkpoint.
So, what was it like being stationed in Northern Ireland during the Troubles?
It was just a job. There was no particular fear of it. You were doing a job that I was doing in Germany. Basically, training to defend or attack Russian forces as part of NATO. In Northern Ireland, you were actively patrolling, stop checks, and looking for terrorists.
Did you feel as if soldiers were disliked by members of the public in Northern Ireland and Ireland?
The nationalist community definitely did not like British soldiers, and I'm not too sure about the Protestant community, how they felt. We had soldiers guys from the South of Ireland, North of Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland in our battalion, and the guys from Northern Ireland and South of Ireland, no fear of being over here. We were home, we were on our island.
Do you think that the conflict is less prominent, and do you think that the wounds still linger?
I think it's always there in the background because some people just can't let it go. And yes, the wounds are a lot of life lost during the as we call them, the Troubles. And to this day that still hurts. So I think it's there. It'll always be there.
Let's hope we do move past and remember this pivotal moment of our history.
The Belfast Met has a new revamped app to help students and staff navigate their way through the college and their studies. Here's a rough guide.
Hello everyone, and here's a guide to the brand new Belfast Met app, which has new updates and new tweaks to 2022. This news began in 2022 when the Belfast Met announced a new update to their app where students and tutors can be able to download the app and to access new ways in how to get yourself around the college. First off, what you have to do is you can go to your usual Google app methods and you can easily search in Belfast Met, where it'll say Belfast Met Exchange. What you'll then have to do is you'll have to go through the downloading process, and this only just takes a few seconds. Once you wait for it to download in under just 1 minute, you're free to open it up. After that, it'll take you into the Belfast Met app home menu, where it'll give you the option in logging into your account. All you have to do is type in your username ID of your own Belfast Met account, and then type in your Belfast Met password of the same name. And once you click on login of the student name or your staff name, just press enter and you'll easily gain access into the Belfast Met app. Once you have gone through that process, you're free to enter the Belfast Met app with multiple different ranges of high tech and high news, with high quality ranges of content. First off, you'll be able to look up your timetable of your own subject, and this is easily done automatically. You can also look up new events such as Freshers Fairs or future Belfast Met events happening in the future. You can also look up new apprenticeships if you're looking for a new pathway after your course, and offer multiple different types of new ways to explore yourself around the Belfast Met in our brand new app. So make sure to download the app, get your way around more quicker on the app digitally, and let's make the Belfast Met app a huge success.
Another look on the app from myself there. Now to football, and Lewis Bennett investigated an exciting new collaboration Belfast Met has agreed within the Belfast community.
For some people, a life goal is scoring a goal. And if that is the case, then Belfast Met has a new partnership which can help. Adding to the official creation of a partnership with Crusaders last year, fellow North Belfast footballing side Cliftonville, and the oldest club in Ireland, are a partner too. Announced in February, there is a new course, equivalent to 3 A levels, giving new dimension to how people see the footballing industry in Northern Ireland.
So they actually do football coaching awards, which includes things like up to level 1 or the old level 1 football coaching. They'll do disability in football, they will do things like refereeing and officiating, safeguarding, and there's a number of other little add-on qualifications they do within that package over the 2 years while they're with us.
The first full-time footballing academy in Northern Ireland was, in fact, Belfast Met. And with these new partnerships, a route to Irish League could well be on the cards. But it's also not the only pathway.
Generally does fall within that sort of industry, sport and fitness, and possibly PE teaching. We've also had people who have progressed on to study things like physiotherapy as well, so they will progress on to higher education to do degree programs within physiotherapy, sports coaching, and then interestingly now Jordanstown, Ulster University of Jordanstown, have now developed a football coaching in business degree program, so that seems to be one of the most interesting progression routes for our football academy students now, if they're looking for that further, that higher education progression.
There are opportunities to train at high quality sporting facilities, such as in Jordanstown, as well as in Belfast Met's own strength and conditioning classrooms. The course itself is a nice blend between classroom learning and outdoors, with an emphasis on the latter. As you can see, Belfast Met is passionate about building community relations within the Greater Belfast area, and with the great work that Cliftonville and Crusaders are doing, the college has been able to build a clear pathway for aspiring sports students and industry professionals. It very much fits in with the college's ethos of putting the city to work. Lewis Bennett, Met News.
Thanks for that, Lewis. Now, we discussed documentaries earlier with Conal and Shannon, and we continue along these lines as we preview a documentary currently in production by one of our current students. Here's Joe Scannell talking tattoos.
I was making t-shirts and I seen an advert for a tattoo kit, and I was saying to the wife about maybe buying one, and I went on holiday with a few friends, and when I came back she had bought it for me, so it's basically all her fault. I sort of didn't know what way to take it at the start, but I started messing about with it and looked at a few things on YouTube and sort of took off from there. Practiced on bananas, grapefruits, and a few stupid friends. We grew up, me and older brothers grew up drawing from no age. Painting, drawing, sketching. We just sort of had it in us. I was always a bit artsy-fartsy growing up. Loved music as well. Joined the band when I was 18. Played in the band for 7 years, playing keyboards. I was just really into anything out of the usual. No, I never really took it on to actually make a career out of it. It was just a hobby, more or less. Like I say, I was into the artsy-fartsy thing, so I just thought I'd try it. But it just took off from really out of nowhere.
Thanks very much, Joe. Something for you all to look forward to in the coming months.
And who knows, maybe it will be on next year's RTS shortlist.
But with that, we bring this latest edition of Met News to a close. Thanks very much for joining us, and we hope you have enjoyed, and until next time from all the team, bye bye.